Your motion light flips on, and there it is, standing frozen by the trash cans, pale face, beady eyes, a mouth full of teeth bared right at you. Every instinct says pest. Grab a broom, call someone, get rid of it before it comes back. Here's what almost nobody tells you before you make that decision. That animal standing in your driveway might be doing more to protect your health than anything you could buy at a hardware store. Let's start with the actual threat hiding in your own backyard: ticks. If you've got grass, if your kids or your dog spend any time outside at all, ticks are already part of your world whether you think about them or not, and they're not a minor annoyance. They spread Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and several other serious illnesses. And according to the CDC, Lyme disease alone is now diagnosed in roughly 500,000 people across the United States every single year. Milder winters are letting more ticks survive longer into the year, expanding their range further north and further into neighborhoods that never used to worry about them. So, what's already fighting that problem for free, right outside your door? The exact animal you were just about to chase off your property. Researchers with the Carey Institute of Ecosystem Studies found that a single opossum can eat thousands of ticks in one season, grooming them off its own fur constantly and swallowing every one it finds. Scientists studying this have described opossums as walking, self-cleaning tick traps, quietly pulling parasites out of the local ecosystem every single night while most homeowners are asleep. Now let's go through what you've probably been told about these animals your whole life, because most of it doesn't hold up. First, the rabies myth. People assume any wild animal baring its teeth and hissing must be carrying rabies. Opossums run unusually cold, with a body temperature lower than most mammals their size, and the rabies virus simply doesn't survive well at that temperature. Confirmed rabies cases in opossums are extremely rare, rare enough that you're statistically far more likely to catch it from a raccoon, a bat, or a fox than from an opossum standing in your yard. Second, the idea that they're aggressive. That whole show, the open mouth, the drooling, the hissing, isn't a threat. It's closer to a bluff, an animal trying to look scary enough that you'll back off and leave it alone rather than actually wanting a fight. Opossums almost never bite people, and when the bluff fails, they don't escalate. They collapse. Which brings us to the third myth, that playing dead is some clever trick they choose to pull. It's not a choice at all. Extreme stress can trigger an involuntary fainting-like shutdown in their nervous system, dropping the animal into a stiff, unresponsive state, sometimes accompanied by a foul-smelling fluid released from special glands. And it can last anywhere from a few minutes to several hours. Nothing you do, poking it, shaking it, moving it, will snap it out of that state early. It's not performing. Its own body has essentially fainted from fear. Fourth, the idea that they're dirty animals spreading disease around your property. It's almost the exact opposite. Opossums are constant, obsessive groomers, and that same grooming habit that clears ticks off their fur also strips away fleas and mites before those parasites get a chance to spread anywhere else. A yard with a healthy opossum passing through regularly tends to have fewer disease-carrying pests, not more. If any of this is already surprising you, this is a good moment to hit that subscribe button, because we dig into stuff like this every week. Drop a comment too. Has an opossum ever wandered through your yard before? And what did you assume about it at the time? Now let's talk about what this animal actually is, because it's stranger and older than most people realize. Opossums are marsupials, the only ones found north of Mexico, meaning females carry their young in a pouch just like a kangaroo. Newborns are barely the size of a jelly bean, blind and undeveloped, and they crawl entirely on instinct from birth canal to pouch, where they'll stay attached to a nipple for weeks before they're developed enough to let go. Once they finally leave that pouch, they don't wander off on their own. They climb straight onto their mother's back, sometimes 6, 8, 10 babies at once, riding along while she forages through your yard at night. They're also built with a few features no other mammal in the country shares. Opossums have around 50 teeth, more than any other land mammal in North America, and a genuinely prehensile tail, the only one found on any mammal in the United States, used almost like a fifth limb for balance and gripping branches while climbing. And here's the fact almost nobody knows. Researchers have identified a peptide in opossum blood that appears to neutralize venom from rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, and several other pit vipers, and scientists are actively studying it as a potential foundation for a broader, more affordable antivenom that could eventually help save lives in places where treatment is scarce or expensive. An animal most people are actively trying to remove from their property might be quietly contributing to the next generation of snakebite treatment. None of this is new behavior either. Opossums, in one form or another, have been around for tens of millions of years, quietly surviving mass extinctions, changing climates, and predators far larger than themselves, not through strength or speed, but by staying low-key, adaptable, and largely ignored. And despite everything they quietly do for the yards and neighborhoods they pass through, opossums are still legally trapped and killed in large numbers across parts of the country every year, most of the time by people who never learned any of what you just heard. So the next time your motion light clicks on and reveals that same pale, hissing face by your trash cans, maybe don't reach for the broom. Let it finish its route. It was never the problem you were told it was. If this changed how you see the next opossum in your yard, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who've been chasing away one of their best allies without knowing it. Subscribe if you want more videos uncovering the truth behind the animals people misunderstand the most, and let me know in the comments, what other backyard animal do you think we've all been wrong about? See you in the next one.